One love, God bless. Fire Nelson here, and today is Sunday service where we pick a random Bible verse and see what inspiration we get. So here I have my Bible with some verses highlighted of things that I felt the Most High called to me, and we're gonna see what we land on. All right, so we're at Acts, and then okay, so we're gonna bounce around. So there's about 3 small verses I highlighted, and right now we're at Acts 10 verse 11. And so we're gonna start and say, I saw heaven opened, and a certain vessel descended unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the 4 corners and let down to earth. So wow. So in this one, we're talking about Peter. Oh wow. So this is interesting. So we're talking about Peter, right? He said, I saw heaven open, and a certain vessel descended unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the 4 corners and let down to earth. So Peter, he was I think fasting. He said that he became the one before this, Acts 10:10. He said, and he became very hungry and would have eaten, but while they made ready, he found a trance. Okay. So yeah, he just got done with a journey. So he went up to the house to pray, and he became hungry, and he would have eaten. But while they were getting the food ready, he continued to pray and stay in his meditation, and he fell into a trance. And so he saw a vessel come up from the heaven and descend down on him. It came down on him, and he said it was like a sheet that was knit at the 4 corners, and it spread down on him like that. And the reason wherein were all manner of 4-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creep things, and fowls of the air. Wow. And there came a voice, rise, Peter, kill and eat. So for me, this kind of was like an interesting thing. I got chills thinking about it, because it's like, it's one of those situations in the Bible where it's like, I wonder what the actual, bare text was of this, because we're talking about a vessel coming down from heaven. And of course it could have meant a vessel, like a human vessel, but the reason I don't think it was a human vessel is because, as it said, descended unto him as it had been a great sheet knit at the 4 corners and let down to earth. So it was let down to earth, and it was big. It was like a sheet, So this is one of those passages in the Bible, and I don't hate me for this. Don't click off and think I'm crazy, but where I think there might be evidence of spacecrafts. I know y'all are like, wow, what in the world is he talking about? But think about it. In a vision, right? And when we're meditating, when we're actually doing these practices, when we're even asleep, let's go even as simple as sleep. When we're asleep and we're going into these dream states, these dream worlds, lots of times these worlds are more real than we are aware of. We can wake up and be screaming. It's because our body is really there. Our body is really feeling it. Yeah, we don't really get cut and all these things, but our actual spirit is really there. And so lots of times people will actually have connections with interdimensional beings in their dream states, and especially in their meditative states. So we have to realize that Peter, they might say that he was praying. That's what they interpret it as. But really, Peter was most likely meditating, because, praying, whether you're giving thanks for things or you're asking for things, how long are you really going to pray? So Peter most likely was meditating if he fell into a trance, and he has been praying for so long that he's waiting for the food to get ready. They had to bring the food. He had to get hungry. Then they're preparing, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like he started praying when they started preparing the food. He already was supposedly praying. So most likely by this time, he's in a place where we would call meditating. And he might have had a dimensional being experience, because I've never heard anywhere else in the Bible where something descends from the heavens, from the sky, and as big as a big sheet with knitted four corners. So I'm thinking the corners may be like frayed a little bit. It just was hard for him to really understand what he was seeing. So I'm going to cheat a little bit and I'm going to keep going, even though it's not highlighted, but it says, I'm going to start at the beginning. And heaven opened up, and a certain vessel descended unto him, as it had been a great sheet at the four corners, and let down to earth, wherein all manner of four-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air. And there came a voice to him, Rise, Peter, kill and eat. But Peter said, Not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is uncommon or unclean. Wow. So wherein were all manner. So they're saying, I'll tell you, man. I don't know why, but when I'm rereading this, I'm just getting chills, because it's something in the Bible that's so bizarre. Like, the Bible is already bizarre, but this is bizarre. So he's in a trance. A craft comes down, is what he's saying. A vessel comes down. It's huge, like a sheet with four corners knitted at the end. And in this vessel has four-footed beasts of the earth and wild beasts. So what is the difference? That's the big question. Four-footed beasts of the earth and wild beasts and creeping things and fowls of the air. So in this vessel has so many different new animals, that's what I'm guessing, than what we originally had. Because after that, a voice came to him and said, Rise, Peter, kill and eat. But Peter said, Not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. And a voice spake unto him again the second time, What God hath cleansed, that call not thou common. This was done thrice, and the vessel was received up again into heaven. Now while Peter doubted in himself what this vision which had he seen, Now while Peter doubted in himself what this vision which he had seen should mean, behold, the men which were sent from Cornelius had made inquiry for Simon's house and stood before the gate. Okay, so Peter was refusing to even eat these things or kill these things or anything like that in this vision. And the Lord was speaking to him in this vision and saying, This is something I've created as well. So what I think the Lord is saying that is, hey, look at this. He wanted him to have this interstellar experience and come down, and something come down, show him that they had everything in the world and more. But Peter was so shocked by what he saw, by the animals he saw, the things that he saw that these beings in this vessel had, that he was like, I'm not eating these things. This isn't even normal common, and it's unclean. It's common, I guess, but it's not common enough for me, So that's just something we need to just, well, we don't need to do anything, but that should be broke down, because they call it a vision. They call it he was just praying and slept into a trance, but that sounds like a direct, interdimensional, interstellar, alien experience to me. So I thought that was very cool. That's why I highlighted that part on Acts, chapter 10, verse 11. So let's keep going. On verse 10, it says, the word which God sent unto the children of Israel, preaching peace by Jesus Christ, he is the Lord of all. Let's say, ye know which was published throughout Judea. He opened his mouth and said, perceived by every nation that him that hears. I don't know why I highlighted that one, honestly. The word which God sent unto the children of Israel, preaching peace by Jesus Christ. He is the Lord of all. So let's keep going on a different part I highlighted. We're at Acts 11 now, verse 26 and 27. And the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch. And in these days came prophets from Jerusalem to Antioch. So I guess I just really thought that Acts had some interesting parts. And that's part of the Bible. We have to realize that we get certain messages from it when we read it one time that we might not get it the second time, and that's why it's always good to reread it. I've finished the Bible and I'm actually rereading the Bible. I'm still at Genesis right now, but I'm just getting so much new information and realizing different things that I want to highlight and stuff like this. And it's interesting parts like the vessel coming down from heaven and having all these animals and beasts in it. And, God is, and the Lord is saying, hey, I made these as well. You may not be knowing of this. You may know that these are common animals, but trust me, they are unclean. They're just bizarre to you. So I think it's just, the Bible is much deeper, of course, than these little cool parts of when Christianity was mentioned. I think that's why I highlighted the Christianity part, and the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch. And in these days came prophets from Jerusalem unto Antioch. I thought that was real cool that this was the first actual mention of disciples being called Christians, which is also another thing that could have been interpreted and added in, because I was pretty sure found some information that Christians or any Christianity was not mentioned in any of the ancient texts, but it could be. So I thought that was really cool and highlighted that. But we have to realize that the Bible can be fun, just like what we just saw here. Maybe the Most High truly just wanted me to tell you some fun verses so that you could be able to realize the Bible isn't so serious. It isn't so cutthroat and boring all the time. There's plenty of crazy stories like vessels coming from earth while you're in a meditation or in a prayer. Reading about David slaying the giant, David slaying Goliath, and reading about Moses and Noah and Solomon, and reading the Psalms. There's so many different factors to the Bible when you actually pick it up and read it from cover to cover, and you don't take it too literally, and you don't, try to put too much dogma and too much hate and negativity on it, and just take what positivity you can get from it. Of course, you want to lead out of a place of knowledge and newfound information that comes up. You want to take it into account while you're reading it, but we don't want to just discourage the Bible just because it may have been written by people that are racist, or people that are sexist, or people that are murderers and genocide I don't know what you would call it, people that commit genocide. So we have to realize that the actual ancient text of the Bible, where the Bible is actually, most of the words come from, most of the words are based off of the actual Hebrew text and ancient Kemet texts that have made the Bible, are really pure. And if we listen to our heart, we listen to our soul, we listen to our connection with the divine, we'll be able to pick up on what is pure and what is impure, what is clean and what is unclean, what is common and what is uncommon, you know. So we have to realize that the Bible can be fun. The Bible can be an adventure. It can be one of the best books you've ever read, but you have to first pick it up and start reading it. Like I said, I read it, and now I'm back reading it again because it's so good, you know. Even three chapters a day. People say a chapter a day, you know, keep the devil away. But I say, why not do 3 chapters a day? It's not a lot, you know. It's and if you don't know what the chapters are, it's you know, say, okay, so we're in Acts, and there's chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, the big numbers. Those are the chapters. You want to do those. So I definitely recommend reading the Bible because it's fun. It's and it's very informative. I've learned so much wisdom from the Bible, and it's all stuff that I feel like I already knew, but it gives me a certain grounding and remembrance and a more of a sincerity and a seriousness of the knowledge because it's written in ancient texts. I'm like, whoa, I knew this, but it's written in ancient texts, you know. Do good and good will come, and love thyself as love thy neighbor as thyself. And it's just stuff that you of course know, but when you see it written and when you read it, when it comes along with the stories that come along with it, you feel it in a different way, and every time that you read the Bible, you're going to interpret something even more with more wisdom than you did the first time, or you're going to understand something differently, or see something differently, or remember something that you didn't remember being there. So you have to do these things even if you don't believe in Christianity or any religious type of dogma. Because when I started reading the Bible, I wasn't a hardcore Christian or hardcore Muslim or hardcore Judaist or any of these things. So you have to realize that we're reading the Bible to get this knowledge. We're reading the Bible to understand the world better, to understand what the foundations of society is made of, to understand the universal laws that are put in place, because this is what the Bible tells us. It tells us some universal laws that if you act in the ways that the Bible is telling you, especially in the New Testament and Jesus' teachings from the divine source, if you act in these ways, you're going to get the blessings that are said in the Bible and more. You have to realize that they're metaphors. Of course, you might not actually get fruit, but you will be fruitful and you will be abundant, So we have to realize that the Bible holds many lessons and many blessings, but we have to take the time to read it and highlight the things that we like and look back at them later and see, oh, why did I highlight that? Oh, that's interesting, this and that. Or you go back and read a certain scripture or read a certain chapter and you realize there's so much that you would have highlighted, but you just didn't fully understand the information. So the faster you get started in reading the Bible and reading different other ancient texts, the Quran, the Torah, the book of the Holy 12, the book of Enoch, the Bhagavad Gita. There's tons of holy books, but you should definitely read as many holy books as you can, because as long as you're acting and reading from a place of divine judgment and wisdom, then you're going to be able to pick out the parts that you need in your life and to pick out the parts that you don't. Don't worry about people saying, oh, you're reading the Quran, but you're not a Muslim. Oh, you're reading the Bible, but you're not a Christian. What in the world are you doing? You're reading the Bhagavad Gita, but you're not a yogi. What are you doing? just read it. You know, you're going to get some divine wisdom from it, and trust me, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth people giving you the weird, crazy looks or whatever people give you. You're going to get stuff from it that they wish that they could have got. And hopefully you'll be able to share it with them. Because just like hearing about Peter's vision of a vessel coming down, just like hearing about Peter's vision of, the dog's crazy, of hearing Peter's vision of the vessel coming down from heaven, like a great sheet knit, you know, at the four corners. It's stories like that don't get told, like, you know, the Noah story and the Moses story and the David and Goliath story that get told all the time, that we get to hear about because we're actually taking the time to read it and assess the knowledge and gain some extra wisdom that other people don't have access to because it's not widely publicized. So you should feel special if you're reading the Bible or have read the Bible from cover to cover, because a lot of people out here say they're Christians. A lot of people say they're holy. A lot of people say they're walking in. A lot of people say they're walking in the way of the Most High and haven't even tried to read the New Testament even. So you are doing something that a lot of people aren't, and you're most likely living in a way better and holier way than a lot of people are, and they just don't even realize, you know. Judge them, for they know not. We have to realize that we are getting these messages and we are getting this guidance to read the Bible and to hear people like me sharing scriptures and sharing wisdom, because we are meant for a greater purpose. We are chosen. We are supposed to be awakened from the illusion that's going on. We're not supposed to be another vegetable just, you know, binge watching TV shows. You have a purpose. You have a reason for your being here. And I'm here to tell you that your blessings are right around the corner, or they're here right now, actually. All you have to just do is just affirm that they are here and say thank you to the universe and to the Most High. So subscribe, like, share, comment. I appreciate everybody that's been doing that. I appreciate everybody that's building up this community. I hope you guys start engaging with each other, start commenting and answering each other's comments, and I'll come in and moderate and answer everybody's comments at one time. I just want to build a community of peace and positivity where we can just grow and continue to share the love of the Most High and share the love of our Holy Spirit within us. So one love, God bless, have a blessed Sunday, and stay holy. Keep that righteous spirit within you. Walk in Yah's way. Trust in Yahweh, trust in Jah, trust in the divine, trust in the Lord, that everything in your life is working out for the greatest good, and you are on your divine path. You are on your purpose, and your blessing is here now. Your divine blessing and miracles are manifesting as we speak. It's just working itself around you till you finally see it in your frontal awareness. But it's happening. Everything is happening behind you. It's just slowly getting into your frontal awareness. Just trust that the Most High is doing this. One love. Subscribe, like, share, comment. Hope you have a blessed Sunday. Keep that holy presence within you. Jah.